Families of some of the people killed in the Lewiston mass shootings and at least one survivor say they want a federal investigation into how the Army handled the shooter's apparent mental health issues. Good evening, everyone. I'm Brian Yacono.
And I'm Amanda Hill. That man, Robert Card, was in the Army Reserve and was admitted to a mental health facility in New York for 2 weeks while his unit was doing training there back in July. The family say they believe the Army failed to warn authorities about Card, and they took their case to Washington today.
News Center Maine's Jack Mulmet was the only local TV reporter to follow that group as they made their case for that investigation on Capitol Hill and at the White House. He joins us from Washington. Jack.
Brian and Amanda, Maine's congressional delegation has long called for an independent investigation into the Army Reserve, where the Lewiston gunman was based out of. Today was a culmination of that, with families who lost loved ones in the shooting, along with a man who survived that shooting in Lewiston, telling lawmakers how everything changed that day back in October and how they want to see justice moving forward. As families and survivors of the Lewiston mass shooting marching through the halls of both the U.S. House and the Senate.
It's cold enough to be Maine, huh?
Feels like it.
Taking more than an hour with both Representative Golden, Senator Collins, Senator King, and Representative Pingree, recounting the day their entire world changed.
Words are words until we see the action and the things that need to change to prevent these things.
And action, they say, needs to happen now.
I hope that we can make some changes because nobody wants this to happen to you.
Elizabeth Seal's husband, Joshua Seal, was one of the 18 killed that day, one of many members of the deaf community impacted.
Josh was tremendous, an amazing family man, always supporting his 4 kids and me as his wife. He would do pretty much anything for anybody. Josh really loved the deaf community.
And that's why Elizabeth is in Washington to demand lawmakers to get an investigation going into the Army Reserve, which saw firsthand the gunman's mental health decline. And even when he threatened to shoot up the National Guard unit in Saco, he was still able to buy the weapons he used that day.
Just killing innocent people, not knowing what steps it took for him to get where he was is, something not just me, but my children think about.
And in a town where political divides run deep, this group at least found some consensus among Maine's congressional delegation.
There's so much we need to do and so much we need to know. And
it appears to me evident that the Army should have triggered either New York State's red flag law or Maine's yellow flag law.
As far as I'm concerned, there's a list of things we have to fix and change.
Agreement that something went wrong and that something should be found out.
And getting the answers that we need through this investigation will help me start my healing process,
so that families who were robbed of their loved ones can begin to move forward. And the families impacted by the Lewiston mass shooting finished their visit here in the nation's capital with a visit to the White House, where they met with the Office of Gun Violence and Prevention. Now, back in November, when the aftermath of the shooting was still unfolding, we did get a statement from the Army that said that they are working with the Maine delegation over their dealings with the gunman, Robert Card, and they're doing their own investigation into the matter of what went down with that gunman. For now, we're here live in the nation's capital. Jack Mulmet, News Center, Maine.
Really important things to hear. All right, Jack, thank you.